This is a kind of an indication of the two sides. Now, Starmer, whether you like him or not, and most people don't like him, obviously,
but got into power, and now they've got themselves into this massive mess, confined by completely made-up so-called fiscal rules.
Imagine the ground beneath your feet shaking so violently that it feels like the earth itself is wobbling like jelly. Now, take that same feeling of instability and chaos and apply it to the Labour Party. As Angela Rayner manoeuvres behind the scenes, amidst a pending backbench revolt, could Keir Starmer's leadership be facing its own political earthquake?
Written directly to her Chancellor, the latest power play, some are calling it, in a bid to oust Keir Starmer.
Stick around as we uncover the tremors threatening to reshape the party and potentially the country. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favour. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us, so did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. When a party's foundation begins to crack, the stress points can run deep and unpredictable, much like tectonic plates under relentless pressure. In Labour, these fractures are increasingly visible as discontent among backbenchers grows louder and public confidence in Keir Starmer's leadership appears to waver. Starmer's calculated procedural style, which once promised to steady a party reeling from past defeats, now risks alienating the very coalition he needs to rebuild. Some MPs fear that his focus on discipline and optics has come at the cost of connecting with voters who feel left behind. This fragility has created fertile ground for Angela Rayner, who seems poised to step in where Starmer falters.
this is a kind of an indication of the two sides. Now, Starmer, whether you like him or not, and most people don't like him, obviously.
Rayner's recent political moves suggest a keen understanding of Labour's tensions. Notably, she has deliberately distanced herself from the controversial leaked party memo that laid out a rigid comms strategy, one that critics argue lacked humanity and political instinct.
This has come from Angela Rayner's team. She is basically putting her manifesto for the economy out there to the public.
The memo's tone clashed with Rayner's reputation as someone who speaks candidly and exudes authenticity. This isn't just coincidence, it's a strategy. By positioning herself as someone more in tune with Labour's traditional base, Rayner is staking a claim as the relatable, energising force that Starmer may struggle to embody. To Starmer's technocratic, sometimes wooden approach, she offers a sharp contrast.
Starmer is looking exceptionally weaker. As Christian just mentioned there, of course, he forced all of his Labour MPs to vote for the win.
A working class voice that resonates with those seeking a leader who truly understands their struggles. What's more, murmurs among Labour insiders reveal that Rayner could very well survive a leadership contest.
And then there's Starmer, standing in the middle, desperately pretending he's in charge, while the cabinet around him mutters that he can't even run a bath.
Should Starmer's footing become too unstable? One unnamed MP reportedly suggested she is the bridge between Labour's left and centre factions, a consensus builder at a time when unity seems increasingly elusive. If true, this places her in a prime position to seize control if the party's reshuffling of power comes to a head. History shows leadership challenges can irrevocably fracture parties. Think back to the Tories' years-long chaos following Theresa May's resignation, and you begin to see the potential risk. This raises the question, should it come to a leadership showdown, would Rayner's emotional resonance and grassroots appeal outweigh Starmer's calculated strategies? For now, one thing is clear. His focus on a polished, managerial image may be creating the very opportunity Rayner needs. As pressure mounts, will these inner tremors erupt into a crisis of leadership? When political instability seeps from party corridors into the national stage, it doesn't just stay within Westminster, it ripples into households, workplaces, and the ballot box. As Labour wrestles with growing internal divisions, public perception is shifting, and the stakes couldn't be higher with a general election looming.
The second lowest of any Prime Minister on record is Angela Rayner sharpening the knives.
After over a decade of Conservative rule, voters are desperate for a credible, stable opposition. But Labour's leadership struggles threaten to overshadow its campaign promises. warring factions and whispers of revolt create an image of uncertainty, a dangerous look for a party that aims to present itself as a dependable alternative. The question is whether voters will trust a party seemingly at odds with itself to lead the country during volatile times. Angela Rayner's political instincts appear to be leading her to avoid being entangled in the most controversial points of party strategy, including the recent policy memo leak. This calculated distance allows her to craft an identity independent of Keir Starmer's leadership, signalling to disillusioned MPs and grassroots members alike that she offers a different kind of approach.
Are we looking here at a potential challenger to the Prime Minister in the short term?
I don't really think so.
Her working-class background and straight-talking manner continue to resonate with parts of Labour's traditional base, while Starmer's technocratic, managerial tone struggles to ignite the same energy. This divergence could bolster Rayner's standing, even as she remains outwardly loyal to the leadership for now. Recent polling shows that internal party turbulence can erode public trust rapidly.
Got into power, and now they've got themselves into this massive mess, confined by completely made-up so-called fiscal rules.
Studies have highlighted how leadership instability often translates into voter hesitation, a trend seen not just in UK politics but across the globe. From Australia's revolving prime ministers to the impact of Brexit-era Conservative chaos, there's a clear pattern. Division at the top often leads to disaster at the polls. Whether Labour can avoid such a fate may rest on its ability to settle these tremors before they become seismic. Rayner's moves present a fascinating paradox. On one hand, her positioning could unify Labour by appealing to its fragmented wings. On the other, it risks deepening the fractures if seen as undermining Starmer. And as the party contends with these internal shifts, which tremors will prove more lasting? Those beneath Crete or the one shaking Labour's top?
Starmer got 350 Labour MPs to go over the top, to vote for this, to go on the doorstep and defend it, and now he's left them.
The Labour Party's current instability mirrors the unpredictable nature of seismic events, where even minor tremors can trigger profound shifts.
Rayner has a record here. She's already defied Starmer on Trident, on housing, and threatened to quit over his unrealistic home building targets.
With insiders suggesting Angela would win a leadership contest if there was a vacancy, Rayner's growing influence represents both a potential solution and a risk. This isn't speculation, it's a warning shot reflecting the strength of her parliamentary support. Leadership contests like the 1990 race after Neil Kinnock's resignation show how such upheavals can redefine a party's future. So, will Rayner's moves bring stability or deepen Labour's fractures? As the dust settles, we may be witnessing the start of lasting political change.